Have you ever fantasized about owning a quaint home in Italy without spending a fortune? Imagine waking up to serene views of the Tuscan hills, or maybe the vibrant streets of Sicily. It's not just a dream, it's a very achievable reality. I'm here to break down the myth that you need to be a millionaire to own a piece of this beautiful country. In this guide, I'll take you through the 7 steps of buying a cheap house in Italy. From choosing your ideal location to closing on the deal of your dreams, I've got you covered. Living globally and affordably is my motto, and I'm excited to share these insights with you. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for life-changing tips like this. Let's get started on your journey of owning a beautiful home in Italy. Step number 1, it's all about location. Italy is a diverse country, from its bustling cities to its quiet countrysides. Do you see yourself sipping espressos like in a modern urban piazza, or do you see yourself enjoying life in a rural village? Each offers its own unique charm and lifestyle. Consider factors like climate, accessibility, and the community that you're going to be joining. Whether it's the historic streets of Rome or the peaceful olive groves of Sicily, choosing the right location is a crucial first step in your journey of buying a home in Italy. One mistake that people make is that they lump it all together. They think Italy is Rome, Milan, Venice, the beaches of Amalfi, and Italy is quite diverse from north to south. All the way in the north, you're gonna actually get legitimate winters, mountains, you can even potentially ski there. And for me, I really don't like the cold, I prefer the south. And as you go further south, the architecture kind of changes, the cities get less dense, and the weather gets warmer. So don't just lump it all together. Really think about the things that matter to you. Things like how close you want to be to major transportation hubs, whether it's airports or train stations. Do you want to be near a body of water? Do you want to be freshwater, or do you want to be on the ocean? All of these things are things that you should be considering so that you can really narrow it down to what sort of region or city you want to be around. Some people who like winter like being in the north. People who like summer like me will prefer the south. It's totally up to you. The things that matter the most to me, being near a body of water and being close enough to an airport where I could shuttle in and out of the country to travel to other places. Really, just make sure that you pick the place that matches your lifestyle. Step 2 involves getting into the specifics. Think about what you need in a home, the size of it, the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, and importantly, your budget. Italy offers a range of properties, from compact, kind of tight city townhouses to sprawling villas with their own grounds. Define what's important to you: a large kitchen for cooking, maybe a garden for relaxation, or its proximity to schools and work. This step is about balancing your desires with your budget to find the perfect home that fits your lifestyle and, of course, your pockets. On to step 3, it's about getting your boots on the ground. There's no substitute for visiting the areas that you're interested in. Photos and descriptions and videos online like this can only tell you so much about the place. Experiencing the atmosphere, meeting locals, and getting a real feel for the community is invaluable. Schedule a trip to Italy to explore potential locations. This first-hand experience can solidify your decision and may even open your eyes to possibilities that you haven't considered before. For me, I would have never thought about owning a home in the countryside, ever. I'm a New York City guy and I've always liked larger cities. And I got pulled into the countryside of Sicily because they were selling homes for €1. So I went to Sicily and fell in love with that place. If I knew that Sicily was as desolate as it is, it's not that bad. It has 11,000 people, but it's really in the middle of the island. And as you're driving through, there may be minutes to almost close to an hour where you don't really see much population. So it's truly in the countryside. And this is something that if I knew in advance, I might have avoided. But going there and experiencing it for myself really changed my outlook and made me say, hey, you know what? I think I need a house in a place like this so I could just break away from the hustle and bustle of my routine life of running businesses and traveling about in these dense places. And that's why I put together my summer tour that I'm just piecing together for you guys so that you guys can come to Sicily and experience Sicily from my perspective. What I like about Palermo, what I like about the coastal towns, and what I like about Sicily, and giving you a guided tour that's not only vacation, but also an opportunity to see properties that you can invest in. Now, I think this is the best way of going about it. I get a lot of people who reach out to me saying, hey, I want to buy one of these €1 homes, or I saw that you bought a house for $5,000. Where could I buy one? And my recommendation to them is always the same. Come here first, experience it, and know what you're getting yourself into. And that's why this summer tour is going to be a great option for you, but more on that later. Moving on to step 4, it's all about that exploration piece. Touring properties is not just about inspecting the walls and floors, it's about finding the place that speaks to you. This step might take time and patience, but it's essential. You might have to visit several homes before you find the one. Pay attention to how each space feels. Imagine yourself living there and consider the potential of each property. Work with an agent or someone local to show you inventory. Let them know exactly what you're looking for and the budget to help narrow it down. That's why I said earlier, you need to know what you're getting yourself into, or else you might see way too much and it can be overwhelming. Step 5 is a practical one. Securing a codice fiscale. This is an Italian tax ID code and is essential for buying properties in Italy. Think of this like a social security number. It's straightforward to obtain, but it's a critical step in the process. You'll need this for everything from opening a bank account to setting up your utilities. Don't overlook this step. It's the key to unlocking your property purchase in Italy. The process is super simple. You go down to the Chamber of Commerce or a similar sort of office. Sometimes it's in the comune, sometimes it's its own freestanding building. You sign up, you pay a small fee, it's less than 50 euros, and you have your document that has your tax ID number. Like I said, you need this for everything in the process. Now, there are services online that say that they could get it for you, but then you're gonna have to pay for a apostille, or you might have to appoint somebody as your proxy, and it'll take weeks. And for some people, they don't even get delivered. So I think it's better that when you go to Italy, especially like if you came with me, we would go to the Chamber of Commerce, and then you would go through getting that codice fiscale, which is, again, essential. Do not work with the online providers just because, like I said, you're gonna be overpaying and you may not get what you're looking for and put yourself through the hassle. If you know that you're gonna be buying one of these properties, you should be scheduling a trip. And when you're there, it just takes a few minutes out of your day, get it done, and you'll have your official document and number so that you can proceed on to future steps of owning a home and everything else associated with having a financial footprint in Italy. Next up is step number 6, making an offer and signing the contract. This is where things get real. Once you find your dream home, it's time to make an offer. If accepted, you'll proceed to the contract phase. This involves going through the legalities of buying, ensuring everything is in order. It's crucial to have a good real estate agent and lawyer who understands Italian property law to guide you through this process. This step solidifies your commitment and moves you one step closer to owning your Italian home. Now, for those of you who've bought real estate in the United States, I'm going to try to compare it to our process, just so you know what you're getting into. When we're closing on a home, or buying a home, I should say, we usually utilize a few different people. Either an attorney if you're in a judicial state like New York, or a title agent if you're like in a state like Florida. They both do the same thing. They review the contracts, they look into the chain of custody and chain of ownership of that property, look for any violations, anything kind of weird associated with the property that may come back to haunt you later on. In Italy, it follows more of the process of just working with the title agent. In title states, there is a title office that inspects the deeds, that checks everything with the local department that's handling, whether it's building department or the local office that's handling all of the documentation and records. Once they clear it, they'll secure title insurance and you are cleared to close and pay for the property. Now, if you're using a mortgage, obviously that's going to be required. And if you're not using a mortgage, then the closing process is going to be just, a cash process. So in Italy, the name of that title agency is called the notary. And the notary sometimes is an attorney, sometimes they're not, but they are taking on that role of the title agent or the attorney as it would be in a judicial state. So once you're going through that process with a real estate agent, or even if you were to buy the home off of an individual, you absolutely should bring in the attorney or the notary into the process so they can help you with drafting the contract, looking into the property, etc. The fees are probably going to be anywhere between $2,000 and $4,000 for them to do their piece. That's contract reviews, looking into the title and deed, and the recording of documents. I've averaged around $4,000 per each property that I purchased in those closing costs. So expect that when you're going through this process. And for the 7th and final step, closing on your dream home. This is where all your efforts come together and to fruition. Closing involves finalizing all of the legal documents, making the necessary payments, and finally getting the keys to your home. It's a moment of celebration, marking a start of a new chapter in your life. And believe me, it's going to change everything. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. It's just the beginning of your beautiful adventure in your new Italian home. So if it's a dollar home or a villa, the process will be the same. If you're ready to make your purchase, reach out to me at cheaphousesonitaly.com. There you can get in contact with me and my team for assistance. Also, if you're interested in joining this summer's guided tour where vacation meets real estate investing, email me at italy@entplife.com and use the subject line summer trip for easy filtering. Until the next one, take care.